and that is design. So engineering is part of design. That's all. It's all considered, should be considered by the industrial designer, designing the shoe. Like I said, I think there's some misconceptions now where there's people creating these products that are just styling, not considering the depth of performance that I believe they should be. Um, but yeah, all of that needs to be considered. And by the
Well,
way, I don't. You called yourself a consumer. I don't. I cringe when I hear that word, because that's part of the world's problem, is that there's too much consumption going on. I'm more about. For me, it's the stories that matter most. So, what are the stories that have created that product that then inspire people to buy it, to then, create their own stories with it. And so, whether I consider you an athlete, which I would, or other people, it's the population that is trying to be served. So if I'm trying to create I don't know, design a running shoe, it's the population of runners that I'm trying to inspire and enable. I'm not trying to sell a running shoe to a consumer. Is there a good chance that, and do we want to grow a business around, people, inspire people to buy the shoe and enjoy the shoe for what it is for them, and they may not even run many miles in it? Sure, that may be the case, but I'm designing it with the intention to be run in, and I'm designing it for runners, and I would create that shoe with as much insight from the elite as I would with insight from the everyday. I would tell kids, I would tell adults, I would tell anybody that the input that I receive from them, even now with my presence on Instagram, all the DMs that I get, all the comments that I get, all that stuff is coming into me and becoming a part of me that I then put back into the creations that I come up with. So whether you're LeBron James or Serena Williams, playing at the highest level, or you're John or Sally, in a grade school somewhere that I may meet, all of that input's, of equal value to me. It doesn't, I take it all in at the same weight, and it all gets put into my brain blender, and it all gets sifted through, and by the time the creation's done, I can't often tell you, where each millimeter came from and who said what and where it came, the inspiration behind each specific piece. They're more generalities and of information and input. And I talk about the five senses and being a sponge, and really taking in life, and taking in life through all the senses that you've been blessed to be born with. I've been blessed to be born with all five. So what I see in the world, what I hear, what I smell, what I taste, what I feel, everything, all of that should be coming into me as a creator, and I should be using that as my library of creativity to then put something back out into a form that I think is relevant in culture of the aesthetic, and then also relevant in performance for what its intended use case would be. So again, those two things being blended together to create the design, and hopefully, for me, it's like what's dropping on Saturday, a new basketball shoe that I worked on with an amazing team from China, team from all over the world, actually. People are talking about how amazing of a design it is, and I DM them back, or I hit them up in comments and say, well, it's not yet been proven to be a good design because it's not out in the real, it's not out in the wild yet. It's not being performed with. So right now it's checking the box of aesthetic with a lot of people, but now it's got to check the same box, check the box performance with the same check mark, right? It's got to have that blend, that balance. I've done everything I can to ensure that to happen, but now it's up to the people, right? It's up to the people that we were trying to serve. And I've actually had a few people reach out to me saying, that they're so inspired by the shoe, the way it looks, that they're going to buy it, and they haven't played basketball in a long time, but they're going to go out and play. I mean, that's what I'm in it for. That's why I'm here. That's what I want to do. And that's, if that truly happens, and the general public believes it's a great performing basketball shoe, then I'll be happy. If they don't, and there's some things that I can improve on, then I'll take all that in and try to be better next time.
Wow, definitely. Words are powerful, so you're right about that. We have to be careful which words we use, but it's good to hear that from the other side. Sometimes we don't, look that far into it.